All right.
Let's get it started. Everybody all set to go. All right. Yes. We will get started. Right. Oh, wait. One more thing. Okay, now. Aha! Now I push this button, and we have started anew. The show is happening, and we are live streaming on Instagram. Ain't no way it's Mr. Davenport. It's totally way it's Mr. Davenport. Hello, Instagram. Hello, children of the internet. And when I say children, I mean grown adults with bad grammar. And really, what's the difference? Let's be honest. Hi, welcome to the show. It's good to see me, actually, if I'm being completely honest. Hello. Hi. No, it's good to see me on the actual Instagram feed. I can't believe it's working. Okay, the problem is I have to, I gotta jump through 2 hoops to start the thing up because it's vertical and another. Never mind. You don't need to know this. I don't need to know this. The fact that I do is a pain in my tuchus. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. It's Hal Sparks Megaworldwide. My bad. The award-winning Hal Sparks Megaworldwide Crookie Award winner, nice guy of 2023. I think I won both on production quality level, which is always a nice skate uphill, but it's still there. And of course, on my personality and my loving nature towards my fellow man, where even the trolls are welcome. Hi, trolls. Even the people, they say haters gonna hate, but that doesn't help us, does it? That's like using a word in a definition of the word. You know what I mean? That's not helpful. Doesn't really get us anywhere. So, yes, haters gonna hate, but what are you gonna do? And my response is tolerate them and mock them where necessary, and the rest of the time just shrug it off because my ego is sound. I mean, it's a plan. You can think very little of it, but I got to be completely honest. I think it's pretty rock solid. Also, there was some concern that in the earlier show that I was some sort of CIA operative. Sorry, don't laugh at the middle of the thing because then it gives away that. Never mind. The point is, listen. You will subscribe. You will like. You will subscribe and subscribe and like. You will become a member. Patreon calls you. Patreon.com/HalSparks. The thing that makes the show. And this is not a trick I learned from the CIA. In fact, I learned it actually from a Vegas hypnotist. Not important. You will obey and do what you are told within reason. All right. Now that you are completely under my control. Let's say hi to the chat room. Hello, chat room, and hi those who are in the any goddamn thing but Trump, says Mark in Baltimore. On we've got, I could actually see some people talking on Instagram. That's super weird. All right, agreed. Now we will be covering a bunch of things today. I don't have enough time for the clips that I have. That is just the nature of my current life. I have to start with the weirdest right out of the gate. We gotta cover this early. So like and subscribe. If you show up late for the show, I've got to at some point I've got to make people regret missing out. You know what I mean? Oh shit! Hold on one second. There we go. Sorry, I have to mute my microphone when I talk to the S machine from Apple. Otherwise, yours will go crazy. So there we go. Now, all right, here we go. This we got to start. We got to start weird. We got to start really weird. Okay. Now, you guys remember there used to be a channel we would go to every so often called it's called the satire is still up. I beg your pardon. This is not satire. I'm dead serious. Okay, you'll remember the Diamond and the Silk. 603,000 followers on the Rumble machine. I got 60,000 subscribers, and yet my clickable numbers that are very high comparatively. That is that a bit weird? Didn't occur to anybody that there's a bunch of people, especially on Rumble, that have millions of subscribers. And yet their engagement is the same as mine, and I have 60K. How is that? Either you guys really love me, which I think you do, or you wouldn't have given me the 2023 Crookie Nice Guy Award. I didn't get one, so I'm using this as a stand-in. Actually, it looks a little more like this. Stay. Actually, it looks a little more like that. You're like, Hal, do you have a bunch of Captain Americas on your desk? You goddamn right I do. Let's get started. So, Diamond and Silk. Wait, remember that? You know, of 5 eggs fame, right? And it's very lovely. So, Diamond, for those of you that don't know, went to that great engagement ring in the sky because of, I believe, the COVID. We no one ever said, but definitely she wasn't well at the end, as most people who kick off aren't. And bless her heart, and goodbye. And again, I don't wish death or illness on anyone. Dead serious. Even awful people, I think, like certain people where I'd be like, if it's my responsibility to remove them from this earth in a one-to-one circumstance where I catch them red-handed in some circumstance, there's very rare people that I would, they get the cinder block treatment. But yeah, Diamond Silk are not at all in that category at all. They're a pitiable bunch. And especially Diamond, their family, whatever. Like, it's just sad. Anyways, Silk is still around. However, the show is still called Diamond and Silk. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is indeed Silk. If you don't remember, Silk is the one with the Trump hairdo thing that she had done. Is the hair stapled on? None of my goddamn business. But this is the title of this one. I gotta say, Crookie for your thoughts. Enjoy house. Oh, that's so sweet. The Crookie, they gave my acceptance fee. That's so nice. Ah, come on. Apparently they on Crooks and Liars did this. Just hold on. Yeah, there you go. Crookie for the. Oh, I see. Because wait, we put it. Okay. So, anyways, I did. It was lovely. Anyway, so here we go. So this one, I gotta say, these two ladies were, and this one lady is, diehard Trumpies. They just are all in for Trump. And a lot of people are reacting to the Epstein flight logs coming out and the direct attachment to Trump, in different ways. They're wrestling with it, as it were. And in their own way, I suppose. And perhaps this is her way of dealing with it and going, we should just give all the pedophiles and rapists and kidnappers a pass. like, while we're ignoring the fact that Trump partied with Epstein for 2 goddamn decades, we're just gonna let these guys slide through. Is that the case now? Hold on. I have to know.
I see a lot of grown behind white liberal Democrats walking through the streets naked in front of children.
I have to close my drapes. First of all, that is not the street. That is my living room, and I have my blinds on a timer, and sometimes they don't go off at the right time. But I'm always careful. If I realize they're not open and I'm in the kitchen and I'm making coffee or something like that, and I realize I'm buck naked and my blinds that are on the timer didn't go off, I will hold a magazine or a pie plate or a skillet. So oftentimes walking around with a skillet because it's got a handle, sure. Grown ass, okay. Democrats, buck ass naked, okay.
Children. Indecent exposure.
That would be, I think. Although I think direct nudity isn't technically indecent exposure. I think the curious thing is that if there's an expectation of nudity, like a nude beach or something like that, I don't get it, but there are families who are nudists and that kind of stuff, and it's a little creepy. But I think ultimately they're like, this is how we are. This is natural. Or people who are, and they do say that in Europe, one of the reasons why they have a lower instance of sexual assault than we have in the United States is partly because they have what would be called soft nudity all the time. There's a relaxed attitude towards nudity overall. It's not kept behind a cloak, so it doesn't build up the pressure. And it's not that they have naked marches in the street, but you have statues and nude paintings, and it's not that weird. And you know what I mean? Nobody gets. Never mind. I was talking sensible for a minute.
Grown behind white men.
Grown behind white. Who's behind who?
Can take and dangle themselves in front of children, then they need a free R. Kelly.
So your answer to naked men, what is it, dangling themselves in front of children, is to free more people who do stuff like that? Is the idea that you're just talking like, did she just see a bunch of like white gay men at a pride thing or something, and this is what she's reacting to? I mean, it's fucking January. I don't know. I have not checked what's I guess running on it's trending on Twitter right now, but I'm afraid to look now.
Yep. They got them on video shaking it and dangling and got the children grabbing onto their little wee-wee.
Do they now? They do. They have this. I'm sorry I missed it. And this is where this is is that's what this is happening, and this is just I don't even know. I can't even, like, is she saying this is at parades and stuff like that, or is she talking about, I feel like it, I don't even know why I'm trying to make sense of this. Nuh-uh.
That's what they're doing. I see it there on the video.
Oh, sure you do. Because, I'm sorry, why are you watching child porn? I mean, I guess that's the content. That's what you're describing.
Free R. Kelly. Free R.
No, your answer to children being sexually violated is not to release other people who violated sex. What the shit?
Kelly asked tonight.
Just that part of him, not the whole. You wouldn't.
Drop your shorts and bend over, Mr. Babar.
I really.
Yeah, no, she's crazy. She is totally nuts.
I told you it was weird, but here. I'm sure she's got a minute and a half left. Certainly there will be context. She will fill. Somebody clip this. Yeah. By the way, maybe I said the bad word and I got kicked. I got frozen on. I don't know.
That's right. Because right now, what I see going on, drawn behind white liberal Democrats. You got a few black people there because you know they got to meet a quota.
I'm sorry, there are a quota of naked men? Who? And they are what? What? All right. I don't, but it would help to have some idea of where you even started this conversation. But now liberals are so committed to what? That they have a quota of, they need some naked black men around for what?
They got to keep a little pepper in that salt.
No, I mean, it's, yeah, have a little pepper with your salt, I think. And you don't mix the two, otherwise you need, never mind.
That's what they got to do.
Do they have to? So is it, and that's easy to do? You just walk up to, your premise is that naked gay men, white gay men, well, you know what? I'm not even going to presume they're gay. This apparently I'm falling into this trap on my own. So they're buck naked men, white guys, walk up to black guys and go, "Hey, we're short a couple. Do you mind joining in?" And the black guys just start undressing. That's how. All right.
Free R. Kelly's black behind tonight.
No.
Free him.
Look, it's bad enough that apparently, according to you, these people are dangling their winkies. We don't need them peeing on people, too. I mean, and besides, they're already over quota with black guys. Isn't that the... Oh, shit.
Today. Free him. Because what I see going on with the Democrat side, they temporarily changed the rules, you all, in California, so that all of these ladies or women or whoever they want to be can come back on Bill Cosby and say, "Oh, he raped me." Oh,
what? They changed the what?
He raped me. All of them years ago, he raped me.
Yeah, it's part of a pattern. Yes, we know. And
they temporarily just changed the rules so they can go after Bill Cosby again.
Well, not just him. It's not the Bill Cosby Act of Southern California. They can go after anyone who assaulted. It's basically it's a survivor's law, kind of like what New York did. It was very successful. And it helped E. Jean Carroll, for example, go after Trump. And, but this is, yikes.
All right. My deal is, why you going to keep going back to him if he raped you? Why you going to keep going back to get raped?
What? No, the bill is, what? What? That caught me totally off guard. That is like a magic level of fucking bananas. What? No, dummy, it's not a law so they can go back and be sexually assaulted again. What are you talking about? They're not making it legal for Bill Cosby to assault people. What in the world? That's amazing. I don't know about you, but I was totally blindsided by that. I thought she was just going to kind of do the sort of run-of-the-mill right-wing complaint that, we're going to give everybody another time to attack somebody. What? Holy God. What is that? I know, CSL. I don't even know how you found this one. Oh my God. What a horrifying, like, how can your like grasp of an issue be that what?
Because you kept going back. A lot of them women kept going back. They surely did.
No, they didn't.
Back then, they was doing drugs, quaaludes, all of that different stuff.
They weren't doing quaaludes. He dosed them with quaaludes, fuckhead. They didn't go back. What in the world? Oh. How? All right. Honest to God, I am seldom shocked. But I honestly, how do you hear, this story's been around forever. This isn't like, you ever see people who like get the story fucked up and because they just heard it or they caught half of it or something. This has been fucking years.
Back then, they were doing that.
No, they weren't. He was doing it to them. Jesus Christ, nobody even made quaaludes anymore. These women weren't old enough to own quaaludes if they had been given them at birth as a supply for adulthood. What are you talking about?
Right?
No, not right. No, not right. Just for the record. No, not right. The opposite of right. You have this completely backwards. That no one's even suggesting this. Wow.
It was customary to do that.
What? How can this get worse? How is it possible? It keeps getting worse. Wait, it was customary to do quaaludes with Bill Cosby? What was it, a fucking Christmas tradition? Customary? All right. Seriously. She's still got a show on Lindell TV, I would like to say for the record. And over 600,000 followers on Rumble. It was customary. Quaaludes. Doing quaaludes. I will say she's kind of right in that it was customary for Bill Cosby to give women quaaludes against their will and have them pass out.
But they kept going back.
No, they didn't.
They kept going back for what?
No, they didn't.
Mm-hmm. Was it the quaaludes or what? No, it was not. It was not. They were not going back like, look, I know I'm being assaulted, but the inability to move was really worth it. Was it the dang-a-lang? Oh my God. When someone, I don't even know how to address, I do. If someone knocks you out and assaults you, it's rape. It's not, there's no question, none whatsoever. If you can't consent, or deny, then the default is denial, period. Somebody knocks you out and does that to you, that's rape. No question. Stop it. Secondly, good Lord. Let's say you consented to it, said, hey, knock me out and then do what you want. Not here to yuck anybody's yum. I'm sure that exists somewhere. There's 8 billion people on the planet. Fine. But let's say somebody consents to that. You're not going to go back for the sex because you're unconscious during it, dum-dum. God damn. Oh, that's amazing. I gotta say, I was expecting this to be a little over the edge, but I had no idea. But thank God there's a picture of Diamond still on display behind her who can witness this, screaming,
no, no, no. From heaven above, I suppose. That's, yes. Was it the Quaaludes or the Dangalang? I think is the the final question. How? All right. Now, it's going to be arguably, it's going to be difficult to argue who's the stupidest person on the show today, because there's going to be a lot of fucking stupid. There's going to be a lot of dum-dums out there, I gotta say. Don't ever be shocked from maggots. I gotta say, like, I just thought it wouldn't. I just thought it would kind of be dumb and that'd be the end of it. But good lord, like, that took work. Like, you have to, like, actively work at being that stupid, I think, wouldn't you? How many looks did that? I don't know. Let's see. How many? Let's see. I don't know how many how many watches it get. Doesn't really say on Rumble, I don't think. But, anyways, it's kind of a theme thing, right? Yeah, it was her wig. It's too tight. You think the staples? She's suffering from blood loss or something. Oy. Anyways, there's a lot of this shit going around. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Jamie Comer, who's so stupid, he either doesn't know they're going to put this picture next to him, or he doesn't know to not be smiling kind of in a picture with you opposite that fucking dude. Who, by the way, we now know Trump flew with him. I think the current count is 6 times more than he said, right?
Here I am like an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is Comer's thing. Chairman James Comer on who can be on Epstein list. I guess the Epstein list. Eric Bolling. Is Eric Bolling hosting this one? Because I think he's been out for a little bit. But anyways, it's only 2 minutes. So apparently Comer is not a... No, the list was supposed to be made public on January 22nd, I believe. It's not completely out. And they're going to... I guess it's coming out in bits. Right? So anyways, we shall see. And if you're on it, fuck off. Again, it's like Menendez's corruption. I don't have any problem. Piss off. Go away. There's plenty of people that I don't need to worry about or even want to have to deal with somebody like you in my life or in politics or in, on television. I don't even just see this fuckhead's face ever again. Does anybody? Good Lord. Anyways, this is Comer. This is the same length as the last video, so we'll see if he can go to the depths of dumb. Oh no, there's Bolling. He's in fresh injections of marzipan.
I don't know the answer to this. So these
wow, it's almost like your lead into every show, Eric.
Epstein files got released, or a list got released. A lot of it's similar to something we may have seen in 2015 and 2021. If there are members of Congress on that list, I don't know if they are or not, because so far there hasn't been. But if they are...
Okay, first of all, if they're out and they're the same as 2015 and 2021, then why don't you fucking know? Again, why do I even...
Is that something the Oversight Committee would look into? And is there...
Of course not. They're not going to look into what members of Congress might have partied with Jeffrey Epstein, or what, I don't know, Republican presidential hopefuls and former presidents may have partied with the dude for 2 fucking decades. Why would they even consider thinking about that? They've got to look at Hunter Biden, who's an admitted addict, who apparently all of his sexual interludes were with adults. So, why...
Anything you could do about it if there were?
Anything you could do about it if there were? You mean besides, like, trying to get his own name removed, or?
I think there's certainly a committee in Congress that should look into that.
Really?
Problem that could arise from these names is, if they're all very prominent people, is there a risk to being blackmailed? If you're in politics and...
Yes. That's the entire point. That's the theory behind his entire welcome to the party, dum-dum. Here's an interesting thing. Is there a chance that Jim Jordan is being blackmailed by people who have evidence of worse things happening at OSU than he even will admit to ignoring?
You know, you've committed some type of crime and someone's holding that over you, then that's a problem. That's one of the reasons we're doing this Biden investigation.
Oh, fuck off. Hey, you know who's not on the list, on the Epstein list, anywhere? Never has been. Not a fucking photograph. Nothing. This guy. He's not. Biden's not on that. He's not on the flight logs. He's never going to be on the flight logs. Never been on the fucking flight logs. You know who is? Somebody was saying earlier, like, Hal's favorite picture. You know who is? Yeah, that's right. That dude. Hold on, I got another one. Where is he? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, that looks like, that shot just from first glance, looks like it would be involved in a flight log, don't you think? Right.
You know, what does China have on the Biden family?
Nothing. You think the president would have signed the CHIPS Act? Would have tightened sanctions on China? You think he would have doubled down on everything that Trump did in terms of Chinese sanctions if they had anything on him? Here's the other thing. Let's say they have stuff on him and he's still doing it. Jesus Christ, the level of character that would require. It might fuck me in the end. They might actually show this stuff and it's going to wreck my life and my career, but but America's more important.
We know they've given the Bidens millions and millions of dollars.
The Bidens, to invest, not to keep.
What did they do in return for that? If the Bidens crook the Chinese for the money, then that's a problem. Then that's a
What? If the Bidens whatted the? Hold on. If the Bidens whatted the Chinese?
No, they've given the Bidens millions and millions of dollars. What did they do in return for that? If the Bidens crook the Chinese for the money, then that's a problem. Then that's a problem for Joe Biden. That's a national security risk. The same.
Wait a minute. If the Bidens promised to do something for the Chinese and then didn't, and just kept the money. So you're saying they beat China at 3-card Monte, and that's bad for the Bidens. How?
Same thing with these Epstein files. Who all knows from within the government who's on this list, and were they in some way, shape, or form compromised by government agencies or Epstein or whomever? Was Epstein a double agent for another country? There are a lot.
Oh, he's going with was Epstein a double agent for another? He means Mossad. That's the going myth or whatever around Epstein, that he was Mossad. He was Israeli intelligence, and they were just keeping all this stuff. They were gathering intel on people so that they could, control them afterwards. Yes, that's true. Obama also not on the list. Yeah.
Some questions pertaining to national security. These names are politicians.
Didn't even think of that. Epstein could have been, the foreign agent for a country, and may have been himself getting these high-profile people in trouble and using that to blackmail them. Great point.
And okay, that you run that by me again. Okay, so Jeffrey Epstein might have been an agent for a foreign country, and that his whole thing was to gather intel on people and to get put American politicians and business people and famous people in compromising positions so that he could control them later. And Donald Trump partied with him for 2 decades. Hashtag the best people. All right.
Congressman James Comer, Chairman, thank you so much for joining us.
For a complete waste of time. That was it. That's the extent. Well, maybe he says thank you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, coming up.
All right, coming up, more nothing. More big, dumb nothing. This, just dumb. Just keep trying. You know what I mean? Oh, by the way, that's not the... This is a better clip, I think, of Comer doing what he does best, which is trying to polish this turd that they have here on here. Hold on, let's see if I can shrink this. Whoop, get out of here. Shrink this down a little bit so you can... There you go. He's Rep. Comer. Biden family, very organized crime syndicate. Was the idea that, sure, Trump's a criminal too, but he's a fucking mess. His whole thing's like, ugh, it's all over the place. But the Bidens really dot their I's and cross their T's. Barbara, he said crooked the Chinese, meaning that he took their money and stole it or something, which again, if they did, then fuck does he care? I don't know. That part's very odd. Here's the problem. They are increasingly in a situation. He's probably seen some of the videos that I posted, or somebody around him has gone, hey, you know, people are kind of bringing up the idea that you're looking a bit like an asshole and you got nothing. And especially that part about, like, what exactly did Biden do for this money, or what did they get from it? Because you can't find a single change in policy, right? Not a single thing during the Obama-Biden administration. And during Biden's own administration, he's harder on China than Trump was. That's where this ship was really running aground, right? The list, I think, comes out January 22nd and piecemeal, kind of like the Jan 6 footage, which, by the way, they have stopped talking about, if you've noticed. So here it is. We probably won't watch this whole thing because it'll be a bunch of bullshit, but this is him on OAN.
The chairman of the House Oversight Committee, Representative James Comer, is untangling a complex web of financial transactions.
Oh, yes, it's very complex. That's why it's not clear. That's why it's hard to understand and nobody knows what the fuck he's talking about. It isn't because there's nothing there. It's because it's very complex and people are stupid.
And shell corporations that seem to more and more implicate President Biden, his brother James, and his son Hunter in influence peddling. Well,
in influence peddling. It's influence peddling. You put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
We brought him in to lay out where he's at with the impeachment investigation. Representative Comer, where is the House Oversight Committee at in the process of holding Hunter Biden in contempt of Congress for defying that subpoena to sit for a deposition with the House Republicans last month?
And where's Jim Jordan on this, since he's still defying a subpoena?
We're talking about our markup. We're going to have a markup in the Oversight Committee as
Oh, shit. Not a markup.
soon as we get back next week to hold Hunter Biden in contempt. So it's going to be treated like any other piece of legislation. It's my understanding it will go through two committees of jurisdiction, the Oversight Committee and the Judiciary Committee, chaired by Jim Jordan.
Who is defying a subpoena still.
So he and I work very closely together, especially.
You don't say. Well,
in this investigation, the committees should pass those contempts out with a at least party line vote.
At least party line vote. They don't even have the Republican votes across the board.
And then they'll be ready to go on the full floor. And I'm confident that the House Republicans want to hold people accountable. We've seen clips that show Jamie Raskins and other Democrats have said anyone who defied a congressional subpoena should be held in contempt. We know that Merrick Garland is trying to prosecute.
Except Jim Jordan, of course, which, I mean, obviously you disagree.
Two people that defied congressional subpoenas when the Democrats had the majority during the January 6 committees. We're going to see now if Merrick Garland will treat the Biden family the same way he's treated
that they treated Jim Jordan?
Republicans in the past.
Perfect. Okay, so let's turn
Perfect. So good. You're so good at this. This is so good.
to your impeachment investigation into Joe Biden. You've named dozens of witnesses to interview, but many of them were trying to dodge you using that holiday excuse. So you've decided to bring
That holiday excuse? I'm sorry. I can't lie on Jesus's birthday. It's just wrong. I can't allow myself. All right.
the depositions to them, sending your investigation on the road over the past couple of weeks. So how have those depositions been going? Who have you talked to? What new leads or information have you?
Yeah, any new leads? 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 Oh, yeah. we've added 4 detectives to the case. They got us working in shifts. Leads.
Who have they produced?
Well, the most high-profile person that we've interviewed or deposed would be the trustee for the AmeriCorps Health, which was the company that Jim Biden, for all practical purposes, defrauded. And the reason that's
oh, what? How are they defrauded? Because their case is, AmeriCorps' case is that Jim Biden promised access to Joe and that Joe would do something for them, and it never happened. That's why they're suing him.
important to our investigation is $200,000 of that money ended up in Joe Biden's back pocket. There's no question about where the money that Joe Biden received came from. It came from AmeriCorps Health,
which doesn't sound like a Chinese, Romanian, Ukrainian, or Russian company. I'm just saying, because sometimes people will set up a company with a kind of, a masking name, that hides what's going on. But I'm pretty sure AmeriCorps an American company,
which was a healthcare company that was defrauded in the Biden influence peddling scheme. So,
which was defrauded in the Biden influence peddling scheme. Now, how was it defrauded? Because they filed a lawsuit against James Biden, right? How was it defrauded? Because they didn't get any influence. Joe Biden didn't help them. He didn't do he didn't intervene. He didn't do anything on their behalf. They felt defrauded because they gave money to James Biden and then they didn't get a favor. There wasn't even an attempt to give them a favor. It wasn't even shot the fuck down.
They provided very valuable information for our investigation moving forward. And I can say with confidence that the people that we're talking to, it's even more concerning now than when we just had the bank records, the emails, and the text messages.
Well, I understand it's very concerning for you that you are going nowhere with this.
Alone was pretty damaging information, but now talking to people and hearing people, in fact, say what role the this or that Biden family member did.
This or that, yes, because we've met James, we know Hunter, certainly we know Joe and Jill, we know Shemp Biden, but this or that Biden, which is they're a pair of conjoined Bidens.
In this scheme,
they always wear like Dr. Zeus outfits with this and that written on them.
It's very concerning, and it should be concerning.
It is concerning. I'm concerned. Are you guys concerned? I just feel like the whole thing is like it's very concerning. This is an issue with say concerning again. Say concerning again, motherfucker. Say concerning again.
In fact, say what role the this or that Biden family member did in this scheme is very concerning, and it should be concerning to every American, obviously.
Who's concerned, right? Say concerned. say concerning again. Say it again. Say concerning again.
January is going to be a very busy month for us. A lot of people tried to put off, as you said, doing these interviews and depositions because of the Christmas holiday.
Which is what? Concerning?
Now that's passed, and I think they see we're serious when we hold.
No, that's not at all what they say. They're watching the same shit we are, and it's not at all.
Hunter Biden in contempt of Congress that we expect people to come in and do our depositions.
Do our depositions. Watch out.
Absolutely. So what are some of those other depositions that you are looking for?
Yeah, what were the other depositions besides the company that's suing James Biden because they didn't get any help from Joe Biden?
Forward to in these coming weeks.
Well, we'll be talking to Tony Bobulinski.
Again? The guy who didn't even meet Joe Biden until after he was out of office? Who wrote the 10% for the big guy in 2017? Who managed to write the most incriminating email that they've got in the whole thing. 10% for the big guy. And it didn't even come out. Wasn't even written, except in the 1-2 year period in Joe Biden's entire adult life where he hasn't been in office and hasn't been running for office. On a deal that didn't occur, didn't actually happen. That this asshole was like, we could do this, we could make this happen or whatever. We'll throw 10% to your dad, for the big guy. Let's do this. This would be great. We'll make a big business deal. We'll bring your dad in on it, and your dad can be part of it. And your dad, I told these guys, I already told them, like, your dad is the dude. And so you're like the big guy, right? And they got stuff rapidy, typing that shit out. And then what happened? No deal. Why? Because Bobulinski's a fucking fraud. They kicked him to the curb.
Very soon, we expect to talk to Jim.
You haven't had a chance to talk to him before? You're finally gonna talk to Bobulinski for the 8th time?
Jim Biden very soon. We hope to speak with...
Say hope again. Been 3.5 years of this shit. Say hope again. Say hope again, you dumb motherfucker. Say hope again. Say hope again. Go ahead. Say hope again. Yeah. Hope. You hope, do you? You hoping? January of 2024, election year, and you hoping? Are you? Yeah, it's hope, isn't it?
Some other members of the Biden family that were...
Yeah, Shemp and Curly and Harpo Biden.
In that list of 24 people, we asked...
24 big, that's the problem. That's what's slowing the case down, is this big goddamn Catholic, Irish Catholic family. Fuck, they got a lot of Bidens.
Has to come in and sit down for interviews or depositions. We're trying to get Kevin Morris in, which is the Hollywood lawyer that's loaned Hunter Biden somewhere between $2
And by the way, most of you will know him from the Geico caveman ads.
and $5 million, depending on different news reports. We have a lot of questions about that.
What? You know about the money, right? He did it overtly. He loaned the money to him, and it's known that he loaned the money, and it's known that the money went to the IRS. You're aware of this. So, where was the money? Where's the hiding part? It's James Vanderbeek. No, it isn't. Boston Brian's in the house. What's happening, brother? Happy New Year. Our beloved Boston Brian. We need to get him back in here. We got to talk. We got to hang out, man. We got a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on.
So January should be a very busy month for...
Busy. Busy, the word for people who are pretending to work. Lots to do in the lab today. Lots to do, business to do. Always working. That's just a busy day. We're just busy. It's very busy around here. We're busying ourselves with these. Oh, that's not lined up at all. And let's put this here. I'm very busy. Sorry, I'm very busy right now with the busy, and busying ourselves. So we close that. That's good. Now things are so much better. We get a little busy and we throw away our garbage, and that's a little busy, whatever. And then we put this over here and we square that. Now it's I'm sorry, I'm still very busy. I can't do any work today. I've got a lot of busy work to do, busy little bee.
For our committee deposers.
Absolutely.
Deposers? You really use the word deposers? Jesus Christ. Say deposer again. Deposers? Asshole, that sounds like a name I would come up with for a title for one of my shows about you assholes. Deposers. Oh my God. The French don't even have a word for deposer. Deposers. Déposeur. It's pronounced déposeur. Come on now. Alors, avec le montant chuté l'ombrant. I don't know. We must have, let's see if I can, I need my, something, yes, here it is. I would like to please tell me about your deposers again. I would like you to depose something for me. Yes, we want 2 croissants boiled. Thank you. 2 boiled croissants. And then I would like, along with that, I would like do you want a cup of deposer or a bowl? A bowl of deposer, if we can, is fine, you know. And yes, a boiled croissant. You have never had this before because you have never been to the the true France. You are a how do you say, tourist, oui? And so fuck off. Deposers. Shut up.
Absolutely. And so you've also said that James Biden has committed just as many crimes as Hunter, but the only reason we don't hear about him as much is because he didn't leave a laptop lying around. So,
by the way, neither did Hunter. He also didn't have like hooker pics, so that's, you guys wouldn't give a shit.
how far back have you been able to trace both James and Hunter's alleged influence peddling? Does this
Again, especially not just their influence peddling, but their attempts at influence peddling and their massive failures. Some so big that they actually got sued for it. And apparently, I got to give credit where credit is due. Credit where credit is due. Hunter Biden's influence peddling is next level. Let me tell you, because this motherfucker, hold on, let me show you. Where we go? We'll go back to this. Yeah, here we go. Hunter apparently was getting paid millions, right, to help Burisma, by getting his dad to do shit or something that he was already planning to do, and they still paid him, still worked for, still got paid, even though it didn't change a goddamn thing. December 4th, whatever was it? That was the phone call Jim Jordan always talks about. Yeah, where they called and said, we got to get this Shokin guy. They're going to fire this Shokin guy, or we got to get this Shokin guy fired. I can't remember which one they're on at this particular time. When, of course, it was in the plan that the White House had given to the vice president to carry out in November, and that it had already been something talked about and agreed upon in the White House for a couple of months. So they made a phone call that was for no fucking reason. Yeah. And, all right.
This go as far back to Joe Biden's time in the Senate?
Well, no, we didn't go that far back.
No, we didn't go that far back, because honest to God, it ain't, he didn't have any power. He was still poor. And if we go back that far, it's before he wrote his book and when he had no money at all.
Go back to the second term of the Obama administration, from about the middle of the second term, 2014, on to about 2020. That's the time frame that we've been focused on with respect to our investigation. And it's very concerning. Jim Biden.
You say concerning again, motherfucker. Say concerning again. And then say hope. And then say concerning again. Son of a bitch.
Biden's going to have an opportunity. We're going to give him due process. He's going to have an opportunity to come in and explain some of these payments. But a lot of money that Jim Biden received were direct payments from some of these Hunter Biden shell companies. Jim Biden Biden has a.
You mean his law firm? You mean Hunter Biden's law firm?
Company
named after the area in Pennsylvania where his mom was born.
The
hidden thing. Nobody could trace to him, because he's not in the public eye or anything.
Looks to
where shit that hasn't literally been written about in multiple books.
To me like is a lobbying firm. He's not a registered lobbyist, but he'll have an opportunity to come in and answer a lot of specific questions about
such as
some specific transactions.
Say, yeah, that's right. Say specific again. Say specific again.
Yeah, Chairman. So you've said your investigation has uncovered $15 million in suspicious payments to Hunter and James Biden, and they've called them loans, which were neither reported or repaid.
No. The $15 million isn't all loans. Nobody's even remotely said anything to that effect.
And around 2018,
by the way, this is a live video of the Biden's home money printer. Apparently, when he was in the Senate, Joe Biden visited the Treasury and snuck out with one of these Hyundai printers under his suit coat and set it up in the garage next to his Corvette. Why are we seeing this? What the fuck?
Biden's became aware that there was a lot of heat from the IRS around the large and suspicious wire money transfers into their accounts from overseas.
The large and suspicious. You mean anything over $10,000 after 9/11?
So that's when they began to call.
Ooh. So you were able to get outside the IRS and take pictures of and do a Ken Burns on images of the IRS. How'd you manage to do that? Did you have to dress up like a tree and hide and just not move very much for a couple of days to get these photos?
These large payments loans. So
I like how you drift in towards them. So like you couldn't play like a piece of haunting music when you did it?
Because the loans don't have
like a Jaws theme or some shit?
To be reported on their taxes, and the IRS wouldn't know about it, but they had absolutely no documentation to back it up, which is asinine. So will you be able to actually prove that payments to Joe Biden?
Don't use the P word with James Comer. You haven't learned? You haven't learned yet? Okay, I got my cupcake ready.
And were disguised with supposedly repaying the family loans. Like you said, bank records don't lie.
Bank records don't lie. Look, Joe Biden's had over a month to prove that the $240,000 that
over a month. Over a month. Motherfucker, you've been at this for 3 years.
That we've identified that he took in from his brother was.
Which is, James Biden is an enemy of this country.
It's a loan. Now, they say it's a loan. The mainstream media says it's a loan. But look, if you pay me back a loan for $240,000, then I should have a check going to you at some point.
Do you? Unless it was drips and drabs over a period of time because you were keeping them afloat. You're doling out little bits of money to help them out, and then they pay you back. Right.
Before you paid me back the $240,000, I should have given.
Unless it's a family member, and unlike your family members, they actually love each other.
And you a check for $240,000. They can't produce that check. They can't produce.
You can't produce that check.
Loan documentation. But at the end of the day, one thing that's certain is that the money that Joe Biden took in, even if it were a loan repayment, which it wasn't, but let's say it was because that's what the media is saying.
And because you have no evidence to the contrary.
Money came from influence peddling.
Failed influence peddling. They got no help whatsoever. And it was after he was no longer in office.
So either way, Joe Biden's benefited to the tune of at least $250,000 from his.
It's 2018. It was 2018.
Family's shady influence peddling schemes. Now, we believe that Joe Biden is the ringleader.
Okay.
We have a lot of questions, and hopefully they'll.
Real quick, if I may. Can I at least see the ring? If he's the ringleader, then perhaps, I don't know, there should be a ring. A ring would help.
They'll come in and defend their good family name.
Also, again, slander isn't bait, dumb fuck. That's not how it works. I couldn't, slander James Comer and all his bullshit and then go, well, if he, and then sue him for his retorts against me and then go, if he wants to come into court and explain, show all of his text messages, show me all of his bank records, and prove that he's not engaged in a criminal conspiracy with his brother over, land swaps to avoid taxes and to hide money and all that kind of stuff. And God knows where the money for that shit came from. He can always just come into court, clear his family name by posting his bank records online.
If I were the Bidens, I would want to come in and answer questions if I had nothing to hide. So,
no, you wouldn't. You'd want the person doing this to get fucked.
This is going to be an opportunity for the Bidens to come in and answer questions. And look, we have an hour, then the Democrats will have an hour. And we all know, and we've all...
Yes, because the Democrats need an hour of thumb twiddling added to the taxpayers' bill for the year.
Seen in live time that the Democrats on the House Oversight Committee are essentially de facto Biden criminal defense attorneys throughout this.
Well, you could argue they're his defense attorneys, but you haven't proved a crime yet. This is more like civil defense attorneys in a slander case.
Whole investigation. So,
they'd be for the person who was slandered. So I guess the plaintiff's lawyers in it.
They're going to have opportunities to answer soft file questions, and they're going to have an opportunity to spend time with the Democrats who have again served as their criminal defense attorneys to this. We've got specific questions.
Yeah, none of which point to an actual crime. You don't need. Again, this is one of those things where like you're saying they need criminal defense attorneys, and you don't even have a crime.
Bank records don't lie. We know that millions.
Again, what the fuck does that even mean? Bank records don't lie. Yeah, you do. Do the bank records show that it was China money? No. Did the bank records show that the money paid to Biden through James Biden is China money, or from Ukraine, or from Russia, or from fucking the Saudis, or North Korea? Or no. That's how the bank records. Here's what the bank records tell us: the president's brother and his sister-in-law repaid him some money. That's what the bank records say. If you have some evidence anywhere that in exchange for that money, they got influence from Joe Biden that changed policy or altered the direction of U.S. policy anywhere, lay it out.
Millions of dollars have gone into the Biden family. We don't know what they did to receive the money, and
we have a smoking gun. We don't know where the gun was pointed or what it was shooting at. It could have very well been at a shooting range, but we have a smoking gun, and that's enough for us. There's no dead body, so it's definitely not, we can't prove it's a murder weapon because no one is missing or even wounded, grazed by it. We do have some evidence that there is they were at a targeting range, but if they want to let us know, we've said they have a smoking gun, and therefore we want, they would want to come down here. We think they'd want to come down here and say, I was at a targeting range, which is where we found the gun in the first place, because smoking guns don't lie. And it might not be smoke. It might be steam. It's hard to tell. It was a hot day.
Know that Joe Biden's been very dishonest about his knowledge and involvement in his family's influence peddling schemes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, look at this criminal mastermind engaged in criminality and criming.
So Biden has repeatedly claimed, like you said, for years that he has never talked to his brother or son about their business dealings overseas. But you say you have evidence that the then VP Biden used email pseudonyms to hide communications with all of them. So what would you say?
No, they were on government servers. You can't hide. Those are government pseudonyms, dum-dum. Again, does Jamie Comer actually use his rep address for internal emails? Is he that fucking stupid? How in the world does his staff deal with any of this shit if he uses his real name on his internal email?
The most damning piece of evidence that President Biden knew about his family's business dealings is?
Well, I think the fact that with one particular person that wired money, he said he had never met. Then we find out in a deposition that he, in fact, had a very lengthy dinner with that person. Other people he said he never met.
Okay, he's talking about, we think, because he's intentionally being vague. The very lengthy dinner was a charity event gathering with a lot of fucking people for the World Food Program that Hunter was the head of for a couple of years while he was getting his life straight and trying to, basically reframe his existence. And the Kazakh guy that was there that bought him the fucking the Porsche or gave him the money to buy the Porsche and all that shit, that guy was at the World Food Bank gathering. Did anybody remember the big gifts that Kazakhstan got from the U.S. government during Biden and Obama's time in office? Anybody? Fucking anybody. Now, I will say that since Biden has gotten into office, Kazakhstan has turned against Russia, has forcibly ejected high-ranking Russian officials from their country, and have become more aligned with Europe. But if that's what I don't know why you'd have to bribe Biden or they'd have to pay their way into aligning themselves with the U.S. and Europe. That it would be the opposite. Like, you know what I mean? You'd let them line themselves up with Russia and they could avoid sanctions or some shit like that. It's just weird.
Pictures have surfaced.
Oh, okay. Breaking. Per CNN, Epstein docs just publicly released and 200 names are going public. Well, let's take a look at it. Shit. Give me 1 second. I'll go back to here to you guys. Let's see. I don't know. I probably, hold on. I know I'm far too logical. It's an illness that I have. Let's see. Jeffrey Epstein, of course, to release roster of John Doe's. Oh. News. Conservative. Let's see. Court set to release it. Continue reading. Okay. The names of about 150 affiliates will be revealed as early as Wednesday. Okay, that's it. Possibly in piecemeal financial series a day. Okay. Federal. Oops. No, I don't want. What the fuck? No. Hold on. Let's see. People have appealed their decision. One Doe, as in John or Jane Doe, has given a stay until January 22nd. The other 110 will be reviewed in due course. Highly anticipated list of those in his orbit could finally bring to rest the okay, Well, it's always the Miami Herald, you son of a bitch. Why are they citing this one? Hold on. Staff, if you guys can find that and it's in the chat anywhere, if you could throw it in there for me, so I'm not running. Yeah, let's see. Unsealed documents have been sealed prior to the bulk of the material was unsealed on August 9th, 2019, one day before he was found dead. 3 docs, other Does who are not victims, have to remain sealed. To his arrest. John Doe's 58 and 124 are classic outsiders, peripheral to events at the issue, are not associated with Epstein or Maxwell, so they filed an injunction. Prince Andrew is definitely on there. Yeah. Hold on, let me scroll this down. Website has crashed? Oh, no doubt. I do not have staff. We just have we call it the staff chat. It's just so we can coordinate if we're looking for stuff like this. I'm going to try. No, I'm going to find that. Nope. This is, I mean, okay, thanks. This is, I think, the part that stands out the most. This is a New Republic reporting on this. Conservatives are having a meltdown over Trump and the Epstein list. Several of Donald Trump's biggest fans seem increasingly frantic about a forthcoming list divulging the names of those who traveled on Epstein's plane and visited his various international estates. In social media posts, several MAGA talking heads have made it clear that Trump's highly anticipated presence on such a list, which is expected to contain nearly 200 names, is at the front of their minds. On Tuesday, the former president's son turned fingers towards Bill Clinton, who's also been photographed alongside the serial rapist. Everyone knows Bill Clinton was on Jeffrey Epstein's planes in the island a lot. Literally no one is surprised he's all over the release. Dr. Don Jr. posted, "What we want to know is all the other names that the government has been hiding and running cover for that will actually be revealing." You mean like your dad? Alex Jones, "I will say this, if it turns out Trump ever went to Epstein Island, I'll remove any support for him. But I know Roger Stone very well, and I know people that know Trump, a lot of people. I'll leave it at that. I know women that have dated Trump, prominent women. He gets devoted to one woman at a time." Seriously? Seriously. Other ones are equally flabbergasted at the anticipated unveiling. High chance the Epstein filings will include Donald Trump's name. Out of context, the legacy media and the TDS sufferers will pretend this isn't because he gave willing testimony against Epstein when queried, and will make believe that it makes him a pervert. What? User Stix666 official. Okay. Well, okay, at least. Oh, yeah, fake lists fake lists have been going around for a while. And there's a mix of real and fake and all that kind of shit. It's also described. Okay, this comparison: Trump was photographed partying alongside Epstein and Maxwell and recorded on the socialite's plane, dubbed the Lolita Express, while surrounded by crowds of a young girl. He also described the pedophile peddler as a terrific guy. This would be. Hold on, we'll get out of here. Not now. Trump headed to Epstein Island. Let's see. Are these real pictures though? This one looks real. Is it? Yeah, I guess maybe it's the same one. So this is just weird. So this is supposedly in Epstein's plane. Are these real photos? Yeah, breaking news. Trump is a sexual predator. Who knew? Right. They look shopped to me too, but this one doesn't. This one does. But it's hard to tell. Two different flights, two different groups of girls. I mean, it's weird that the New Republic is citing those particular pictures. Yeah. The Miami Herald is Miami Herald like Boston Brand? No, it's a paper. Ceased to make any sense at all. Tommy Lauren, who insinuated that the list includes Trump only as a diversionary tactic. Yeah. Let's see. The list of John and Jane Does. Many of the names are expected. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yeah. Either way, this is definitely real. This is them partying. There's tons of pictures of these two together, which is super fucking weird. Let's scroll this down. Scared Ketchup uses the girls pick, but all the girls are Ivanka. Oh, they swap. They did Photoshop a version where they're all Ivanka. I see, but that's the original. All right. Anyways, we'll keep track. Look at Melania rolling. Right. Get that woman a bottle of water. Yeah, where's Epstein's other hand, I think is the question. Probably on Trump's butt by accident, I would guess. Whatever. She's got a handful of diaper. Anyways, there are no, just for the record, there are no pictures like this of Joe Biden with Jeffrey Epstein year after year after fucking year. And here's the thing. I got accused right out of at the tail end. Some of you may have seen this early. We had a troll in the morning show who was accusing me of having Trump derangement syndrome. And I'd like to say for the record, I'm pretty, there's a lightness to my nature if I have TDS. You know what I mean? Like, I don't grind on this motherfucker all the time. I don't feel the need to oh, fuck you. It's just, I find him clownishly funny, and I do think his policies are disgusting. So mocking him is the way that you really make a dent in some of these dum-dums. But I don't go I hate everything is about it. Like, I don't live like that. I don't know anybody that does. So My question is, though, is if you're a Trump sycophant, this is the weird part. If you're an absolute Trump ball gargler, like a bunch of the maggots are, how do you look at a picture like this and just let it slide? I mean, there's so many of them. There's so many fucking pictures of him like this. There's so many of them. There's video of him hanging out. He threw a party for the dude. He told him a joke at the party that apparently embarrassed Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein did the, oh my God, you didn't bend over and laugh. Who the fuck can tell a joke that would embarrass Jeffrey Epstein? You know what I mean? And so if you're a Trump supporter, I think that's where you have to answer it. Like, it's not, I don't have to answer this because it's not Joe Biden that's in these fucking lists. It's not him in these pictures over the years. Who cares? I would guess Jeffrey Epstein's fucking victims. And the fact that he died while this guy was in office. If he is indeed dead, I suppose. Is that the other thing? Is that where we're going? Is that the other possibility, right? Yeah, the locker room talk, right? Yeah. Yeah, this guy sexually assaulted children. Children. And again, I will wait and see if these if these photos are fucking real. Oy. But again, you know, let's do the idea that Epstein's whole gig was compromising people. He'd get them on the plane, and then out of the back of the plane, and come these girls like, oh, by the way, these are my nieces or whatever the fuck. They want a picture with you. And so you go, okay, and you take a picture with their nieces, and you're sitting there, and then this picture shows up years later, and you're like, by the way, if you don't take care of me or do what I want, I'm going to show this picture of you on my plane with all these Lolitas. P.S. They're not my nieces, and they're all, 12 to 16 years old, right? Let's just, and let's say you're completely innocent in this situation. Like you just went, oh shit, how did I fall for that, right? Yeah? And then you're going to tell me that you know the best people. You're going to run on, after you know this picture's out there and you know that he exists and all that shit, you're the best people, right? You know, and you are surrounded by at all times, hashtag the best people. Fucking hell.
Of Joe Biden with those people. We know that he said he never communicated with any of them. We know that in one of the...
Yeah, by the way, you notice how fast and loose they play with the language on this shit? Did you ever notice that? He never communicated with anyone? No. With any of them? He absolutely said, hello, how's the weather and stuff. That's communication. Let's not get into the whole, depends on what your definition of is, or I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. And you're like, why? Because blowjobs aren't sex. Like that. We're not even talking about that shit. That doesn't make you a liar because you're like, how's the fishing, guys? That's it. Unless you're going to show me that you've got evidence that how's the fishing was code for I got you covered.
Interviews with Devin Archer, he said that Joe Biden spoke to him at least 20 times. Now, at least...
No. He did not speak to him at least 20 times. He was there in the official testimony of this dude, their star witness. If you'll remember, you'll recall that he came in, he said, Joe Biden calls Hunter every day. And in about 20 different occasions in the 10 years that he knew him, it was, Joe would call while they were in a meeting. And Hunter would put him on speaker and go, hey, Dad, I'm in the middle of a meeting or whatever. And he'd go, hey, guys, how's the fishing? Good to see you, blah, blah, blah. All right, love you, son. Bye. Click. And everybody's like, well, the vice president, he really does. Yeah, we thought he'd stopped calling you or whatever the fuck was the idea. But business was not discussed. And he certainly didn't say, hey, Devin, remember that thing? Send me that email about it after you're done fishing.
20 could be 100.
Talk about fishing, Jesus.
100, but at least 20 times. That's a lot of times.
No, it isn't. I've only had this show for about 2 years. In 2 years' time, of me doing this show, and I will include the morning show and the radio show, but in doing my live stream, you guys can attest to this. Back me up on this, chat room. Back me up on this. My mom has called while I'm on the air at least 40 times in the last 2 years, right? At least, right? It's like, and my mom doesn't call me every day. We don't, she totally has. Now, you know what that means? According to James Comer, look at all the, you guys know this. I put her on sometimes. Sometimes she's been here and I'm in the middle of my show and she opens the door and goes, we are going to go eat. And I'm like, I'm on, this is happening. And then she'll come in and lean, hello. And we'll do the whole, everybody, this is my mom, right? According to James Comer, she now knows I'm in business with you guys or something. Right? Can you, I think it's fucking amazing that Joe Biden calls his son every day, because that was Devin Archer's testimony, that they spoke every day. And in 10 years, he only called him with time changes and him being in other countries and Joe being, you know, like God knows what the fucking schedule was, you know, with that stuff. He's only managed to call him 20 times during meetings. That's incredibly small. Hal's mom is awesome. Yes, she is. Oh, hi, Turbo Schoen from Germany. Tschüss. Auf Wiedersehen. Schön dich zu sehen. If I'm saying that right. Okay, hold on. Affidavit. Oh, yes, this is the Tiffany Doe affidavit that. A recruiter for Jeffrey Epstein who witnessed Trump sexually assaulting Katie Johnson on 4 occasions. I personally witnessed the occasion where Mr. Trump forced 13-year-old Katie Johnson and 12-year-old female named Maria to perform oral sex on him and witnessed his physical abuse of both minors when they finished the act. Jesus. Does that mean he's guilty because it's in an affidavit? No, it doesn't. But the idea that these guys have to tap dance around this shit, oof. Yeah, Mark just put that in our Discord. That's this. Hold on, I'll show you. That's this stuff right here. Just horrifying. Just frigging horrifying. And Trump, of course, you know, like at one point ejects himself out of his orbit, out of Epstein's orbit, when the heat comes on, but not before.
Now we know that Joe Biden wasn't telling the truth when he said there was a wall between the government, or his office as vice president or as president, and these shady characters. We found
these shady characters.
Found out through the use of pseudonym emails, he was communicating with many of these, including Eric Sherwin. We found this out.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't communicating with them. He sent a thank you note on vice presidential stationery.
Once we determined that these pseudonyms were, in fact, Joe Biden, but then when Hunter Biden was indicted in California, some of these pseudonym emails surfaced as evidence. So this is very...
Surfaced as evidence of what? Of what?
Concerning this problem.
Oh, say concerning again. He did it. He did it. He fucking. Oh. He just does it. He just says concerning all the time. So it's all concern. It's all concerning. You hope, and it's concerning, is it? You're just fucking concerned. Everything's concerning. All right.
Problem's not going away for Joe Biden, and it doesn't matter how many times Jean-Pierre or the mainstream media can say there's no evidence. The American people know darn well
there's no evidence
that $24 million at the very least
is not evidence.
Has gone into the Biden family's back pocket, and they can't say what they did to receive the money.
Yes, they can. He worked for Burisma. His brother, James Biden, was in construction and had these other contracts. The money he got from AmeriCorps was indeed a loan. That's what they're suing him about. That's it. Well, and the CEFC deal was holding money for a $40,000 or $40 million deal that went away. So they put 10%, $4 million plus some fees into an account, and then when the deal went away, they got to divide up the money.
Every American with any objectivity or common sense knows
that you are an asshole.
That's a problem, and that's a risk to our national security.
Why? Why? Why is it that the only money that you can find any transfer record of that got actually to Joe Biden came from a loan repayment from money that James Biden got from AmeriCorps and used part of it to repay his brother? Part of it, not all of it, but part of it to repay money that apparently Joe was giving them to keep him and his wife afloat from his book money. And the only company you can find where this sort of like indirect or semi-direct transfer, the only place you can, because remember remember the chart he put up before they realized it was the AmeriCorps money that was from where the repayment came from, which is again is an American company. They had China money. Remember the China money thing? That was where the original little C-shaped schematic he had put up.
Mm-hmm. So before I let you go,
say concerning again.
Your investigation has identified dozens of shell corporations depositing money into Hunter Biden's accounts. IRS whistleblowers have come forward, and we all saw the bank investigator raising red flags about these massive transfers, even noting how children of politicians are subject to being paid off with sweetheart deals. So,
right, and again, find me the case where policy was changed that did not align itself with I guess the entire, oh, there it is. Epstein linked John Doe's are about to be named publicly. Here's what to expect. Yeah, I saw that one too, the CNN one. Are they still looking at it? Well, you give them a minute if they're going to, yeah, because this is the article that came up. We've seen this go, yeah. Here's what we know, all right? The exception of two individuals who sought to remain identified, that's the two John Does. Documents are expected to include nearly 200 names, including some of Epstein's accusers. Again, those are Jane Does. You would keep those hidden or restricted so that the... Hold on, shrink this. Move this over and shrink this down a little bit so we can see it better. Sorry. Move this in here. Yeah. The documents are expected to include nearly 200 names, including some of Epstein's accusers, prominent business people, politicians, and potentially more. Up until now, these people were identified only as Jane or John Doe. Some of Epstein's former friends and associates have already been publicly named in media reports like Dershowitz. And Dershowitz, it's so funny. Dershowitz has been, and when I mean funny, and when I say funny, I mean disgusting. He's like, release the whole list, because he's hoping that the volume of names, his will get lost in the shuffle. It won't. Epstein's partners convicted. Okay, the unsealed documents came more than 4 years after Epstein allegedly. Yeah, right. But last month, ordered the documents to be released with nearly 200 names unredacted. Some names, including those of the accusers who were under 18, will remain anonymous. While there may not be a bombshell in the documents, any new details about Epstein's activities could provide fodder for further lawsuits. With Epstein dead and Maxwell in prison, prosecutors could still pursue co-conspirators. Unsealing also underscores the lack of resolution to Epstein's accusers. Prosecutors indicted Epstein in 2019, accused him of preying upon sexually abusing dozens of girls, some as young as 14, at his homes in New York and Palm Beach. While away, Palm Beach, why does Palm Beach, Florida stand out? Why is it? Also, why is this city important? I mean, New York state is pretty big, and Florida is a pretty big state, but he just manages in both of his main residencies, yeah, that he just manages to live in the same town as Donald Trump. Just, it's funny. It's just the odds. You know, there's a lot of cities in this country. There's a lot of them. One would think, you know, if you're live like an Ayn Randy and the rules don't apply to me life, you'd live in some sort of like hollowed out mountaintop in fucking Colorado, but nope, weird. And he just always lives less than a 20-minute cab ride from Donald Trump. Yeah, it's almost like Trump and Epstein bought homes next to each other in two separate states. Isn't that funny? That doesn't stand out to, and you know what I mean? That isn't concerning. I wasn't gonna say it. I was not gonna say it. Fuck, you weren't. No, I'm not concerned. I just think it's the word I would use is concerning. No, I was gonna say hinky. Oh, yeah, totally, yeah. That's fucking hinky. That's hinky. How does that shit even work out? You know what I mean? You just manage to. They live in two cities in the United States, and they're both in the same fucking city. That's what I was saying. You can't get mad about the shit I was already saying. Jesus Christ. All right. Carry on. So, that never stands out. That doesn't seem funky. No, doesn't. Nobody's gonna just make the point that somehow, somewhere, in all this, Trump is never more than a 20-minute cab ride from Jeffrey Epstein for 3 goddamn decades. And when he chooses to move out of the White House and New York, he goes straight to the place where Epstein spent the majority of his time. Some might even call it, if you watch a lot of true crime, his hunting ground.
Have you given yourself any?
Have you given yourself any permission to be totally, blazingly, idiotically, morally bankrupt, full of shit? Never mind.
Sort of timeline? Are you looking?
Timeline. Timeline. Hey, moron. He's timeline. He's been at this for almost 3 years, and he's still saying, hopefully, timeline. Timeline.
For one particular piece of the puzzle to bring it all together to.
Yeah. Yes, that what's the word? It's a smoking something other. It's a smoking, it's a pipe, or is there smoke? It's a smoking turkey, smoked turkey, smoked ham. Are they smoking a ham? Is it a ham? It's ham. It's a smoked ham. That's what it is. We're looking for the smoking ham.
Okay, this is
which, by the way, his head resembles. There, I said it.
Irrefutable evidence of corruption. Like, what are you specifically waiting for? I'm not trying.
He's waiting. The word you're looking for is evidence. Where's the evidence? What are you waiting for? Evidence, dum-dum.
To put the cart before the horse.
That isn't putting the cart before the horse. That's putting the horse before the cart. You're like, all right.
And I understand you and
I don't understand.
The committee are trying to do their due diligence.
No, they're not.
But at this point, how confident are you that your investigation will actually lead to articles of impeachment against?
Leading to articles of impeachment isn't the issue here, because the Republicans control the House. They can put them on the floor in desperation leading up to the election and just decide to fucking go for it. That's not what matters. Evidence matters.
Well, the impeachment's a very difficult thing. At the end of the day, the House can impeach, but the Senate has to convict. The Senate's gone on record. Not only has every Democrat senator said they're not going to convict, but
yeah, because they've seen all of your information.
Unfortunately, a few Republicans like Mitt Romney have said they're not going to convict, even without looking at the evidence. But
they've already seen it.
At the end of the day, my job is to get the truth to the American people.
Yeah. When's that? Her question is, when is that going to happen? When is the proof going to get to the American people?
And we'll let Mike Johnson and leadership decide where to go from there. But I'm confident that in the next 90 days, the American people are going to know pretty much how much money the Bidens took.
Pretty much. He didn't. He fucking did. He didn't say. He just said. Did he say? He did. Pretty much. Pretty much. Really? Yeah. That's what you're gonna. Pretty much. All right. Pretty much.
In They're going to have an opportunity, the Bidens, to answer what they did to receive the money. I don't know how they're going to answer that question.
I don't know why they have to answer that question, dum-dum. You have to prove they did something that was out of line. And it shouldn't be difficult. Look at the vice presidency while he was with Obama and look through all the policy decisions he was a participant in or all of his points that he was in, including the firing of Shokin. Throw all that shit up there and go, okay, what of this, all this stuff that he was a part of in this decision-making process, what part of this is not in line with the rest of the administration? And you know what you're going to come up with? Fucking zero.
Because we've done a lot of research. We have a lot.
Oh. It's just gonna you've done a lot of bullshit. Yeah, you've done a lot of research, have you? Research. That's you've done a lot of research.
A lot of questions for the depositions. That's why we want them to come in for depositions, and you know, it's going to take hours to ask all of these questions. You can't.
Why?
Can't do that in a simple committee hearing. But the thing.
Yeah, you can.
Most concerning to me is China.
Oh, concerning. China. Say concerning again, and then say China money.
China's our biggest enemy. It seems like every.
No, they're not. They're close, but they're not, and they're pretty fucking neutered. We don't have anything to worry about with China right now.
Other day, we have another threat from China in another industry in America.
Do we now?
And my
what would that be?
Concern is that the Bidens were working for China, and
to what end? If you think they're working for China, then it should be pretty patently obvious. Go find the fucking thing that says the U.S. government, the Congress had passed a bill to do this, whatever, and the Biden administration vetoed it, shut it down, lobbied against it. You can go find senators who made phone calls about any particular bill. Jesus Christ.
This wasn't some business person in China. This was the Chinese Communist Party. This was the Chinese government.
Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh.
That they were taking money from.
No, they weren't. If that's true, then why did Trump sell a $5 million no-show apartment in Trump World Tower across from the UN to China through CEFC, through Yi Jianming, the exact same fucking guy that tried to buy the natural gas facility in Louisiana through Hunter Biden?
Did the Bidens do something for China?
Here's a good idea. Go look at what they've done and show me a single thing that benefits China. A single thing. One thing. One.
With our taxpayer dollars. With our national security. If so, that's a problem.
If so, that's a problem. Fuck. If so. Pretty much hope concerning an if so. Holy shit.
Obviously.
Wait, hold on. Somebody has the 943 page document of what? Is it the Epstein stuff? It can't be that long, is it?
Very impeachable. But then the second question.
It's very impeachable.
Did the Bidens just crook them? Now, we know the Bidens have crooked some of these people that they were taking money from. They made big promises like they would help them get money from the Middle East, for example, and that never happened.
Oh, my fucking God. Why did it never happen? Fuck. They crooked them. Yes. So remember how early on I was like, if China paid Biden this kind of money, that they must have wanted to be skull fucked, because that's what they got financially, politically. So if they paid him and they got something for it, they paid to be ruined. And if they paid the Bidens are like, yeah, totally, give us some money, we'll help you out. And then they just kept the money and went, fuck these guys. And to our enemies, good on them. I mean, it's ridiculous anyways, but the idea that, yes, Comer has definitely seen my videos. Yeah, let's just be abundantly clear. This is how this shit has worked its way in. So this is their latest attack. That this guy, that Joe Biden, set up a system where our biggest enemies in the world would be tricked into thinking they could buy someone. They could buy, Biden's influence. And then he took the money and went, nah, fuck you. Not putting out. Sorry. I would love him more. I gotta say, I'm proud to have voted for Joe Biden, but good Lord.
If they did that to China, is China blackmailing Joe Biden?
Why would they be blackmailing them? With what? We're going to tell people that we gave you money to do us favors and you never did the favors. How do you blackmail someone with that? I'm dead serious. How do you blackmail someone with that? Do you have any idea the benefits? Like Biden comes out, time for a press conference. Okay. In the early part of my post-vice presidency, in correlation with other patriots, we decided to do Operation Bleed the Creeps, which is we offered our services of influence peddling in the United States for cash, because we knew they were doling this money out everywhere, and we took the money and then we didn't do anything for them. We kept the money. As a matter of fact, we donated the money. Remember that big check I gave to charity while Trump was pretending to give to charity? Okay, I'm coming clean. This money actually it was China money. And China gave us this money and we were like, fuck you. I did get myself some new shutters on the lake house because they were a little drab. And then I gave the rest of the money to charity because, we didn't do. Anyways, so the Chinese are really pissed right now.
Either way, there's a...
No, not either way. Either way, if it's that way, if that's what really happened, Dark Brandon is real. Seriously, that is some Dark Brandon shit. Like I gotta hold on. At this point, I think we gotta go full. That's it. We're just going all Dark Brandon all the time. If that's the case, hold on. Let's see. I think we should have something. Let me see. This is better. Here you go. Yeah, that's it. I'm just fucking Dark Brandon rules. We're just going straight up. This is the first time I have ever heard anybody call for the reality behind Dark Brandon. That this is straight up genuine fucking Dark Brandon. That's what this is. I'm impressed. At what point, seriously, at what point do any of these assholes think this is a slam? Yeah, Dark Brandon 2024. Listen to the argument this asshole is making. This is what happens when he takes his aviators off, by the way.
Problem with the money that the Bidens took from China, and
if they took the money from China and then they didn't help China, they just kept the fucking money. That's bad. At this point, I'm starting to think China's paying Comer to get their money back. Honest to God, what's Comer now? China's collections guy? His collect-a-poser?
A lot of money from China. They said it was a loan. They said it was in that. If it was a
No, they didn't.
loan, I can tell you this, they haven't paid a penny of it back.
Again, Comer is now China's collector. That's what we're gonna argue. Okay. All right. Okay.
And that's a problem.
Is it for, I guess, for China? They are a bit broke right now. Why would it be a problem for us?
If China's holding that over Joe Biden's head.
Apparently, it's not having an effect at fucking all. Oh, hold on. Fucking get out of here.
So we've got problems.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. If go if yourself.
With China, but then we also have problems with Romania, Ukraine.
What? That they took money from Romania and Ukraine and didn't get anything for it?
Ukraine.
What the fuck? What's the Ukraine trap? They gave them money so that what? We would protect their democracy against Russia? Why wouldn't we? Again, this is in line with the United States of America. The question is, why did Donald Trump always side with Russia, and why did he always walk out of meetings with Vladimir Putin like he'd just gotten a Moon River treatment?
Russia, Uzbekistan, I mean, the list goes on and on. This is a
No, it does not.
very organized crime syndicate.
So that's the problem you have, is that they're very organized. They got their shit together, unlike the Trumps.
That was being led by some member of the Biden family. And it's very...
Some member. I'll show you some member, you dumb son of a... Some member?
hard for me to believe it was Hunter Biden.
Jesus.
Representative James Comer, again, thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, because you're so goddamn busy. All right, I'm saving the Dark Brandon visual for later. Just good. I think we're gonna need it. Yeah. Although, yeah. See if this is. Ooh, I like those. Hold on. Ooh, this is much better. Wait 1 second. What about this one? Fucking God damn it. No, it's too messy. Sorry. I'll work it out. Don't worry. Dark Brandon angry. I'm fine. I like that one too. We'll save that one for later. It's amazing to me that these idiots think that this benefits them in any way. Like I honestly, I don't understand. I've not read the list yet. So is this it? BSF did a Honorable Loretta. Yeah, this is Loretta Preska. This is who put it out. Exhibit 4. That's a Max. Oh, that's Ghislaine Maxwell 1 at Eli. See, she used all these different pseudonyms. Understanding defamation and other legal hazards. She's talking the plaintiff's motion to compel defendant to answer deposition questions under seal. Have you ever given Jeffrey Epstein a massage? Okay, these are what? Object to the Forum Foundation. I'm going to instruct you to answer the question. I don't have any problem with you asking the extent that you're asking for. Mr. Conley. You can instruct her not to answer. Okay, I don't know. This is the different people in this. This is their entire filing. So the list of, let's see, videotape deposition of Ghislaine Maxwell. This is her part in talking about this. This is, let's see, scroll through the whole deposition and I'm going to try and find the, I don't know if they, yeah, we've seen her deposition. This is not new. But they may have redacted the list of people. C. Genuine motion pursuant to Rule 20 joinder. Okay. We'll see. Hold on. Factual background. Depositions taken in future depositions sought by Miss Jeffrey. Juan Alessi. They want the, oh, here you go. Epstein flight logs released in USA versus Maxwell. Okay, thanks. 1 second. Let me find this. Yeah, I've seen some of these before. Right? Is this right? Where is it? Why is it not opening? Why is it afraid to go? Oh, no, do. Hold on. Australia. Document, plain text. Why is this? Go back here. There's the document, all documents.
Yes, and we appreciate your time here.
Oh, shut up.
Thanks for having me.
No,
For
you're
all
not.
our
We're not.
viewers asking
Nobody's
where
having
One
you. Shut
America
up.
News is heading in the
This is
future, we would like to
nonsense.
introduce
One
you to OAN Live.
Shut
OAN
up.
Live is the best
Hold on.
way to stay
Gotta
up to
close
date on
this
all of the hard-hitting.
window. Be quiet. All right, we're going to go back to this. This is the... I don't know why this doc isn't opening, other than everybody's trying to open it at once. Conclusion, cases, other threats, civil rights, just... Okay. I can only imagine that, like, the number of people trying to open this shit. There you go. They got... Whether defendant knew that flight Dave Rogers, one of Epstein's pilots, were accurate. Whether defendant knew that the flight logs produced by Dave Rogers, one of Epstein's pilots, were accurate. It was like one of the questions, 128, 129. Whether defendant could recall ever being on a plane on one of Epstein's planes with Miss Jeffrey. Okay, there. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, that was the Ghislaine Maxwell. Whether she knew that there. Johanna Stjorberg, May 18th, 2016, testified as follows: confirmed that Maxwell recruited her. Okay, I don't know if it's going to be attached to this as a secondary thing. Just going to scroll through it, see if we can... It should be listed in the exhibits with this. Yeah. I mean, these deposition pages are fucking long. That's another one. These are the documents requests they asked for. Let's see if I can go. Is it go page down? Ooh, that was a big redaction. That's probably, by the way, the anonymity of the girls who were victimized. It's more of this shit. There we go. Deposition, court call from... Okay, Jeffrey. This is kind of thing. This is... Yeah. I'm not surprised that this... I mean, this is all the depositions that they sought and the ones that they have. So, yeah. Oh. I was employing Mr. Epstein in the 1990s. Okay, these are Nadia Markanova. Okay, these are the other girls. Epstein flight logs. Oh, thanks. There's the actual PDF. Okay, here we go. Go away. I don't want to think that thingy thing. Hold on, I gotta stretch this out real quick. And original document PDF. Let's look at this. Yeah, so some of this we've seen before. They've redacted, yeah. Test flight. Del Coleman by himself. So I don't know if these are the pilots sometimes. And I don't know if the ones that are darker are because they made a point to darken them so you could see them a little better. Whoops. Go back to here. To mention resident something won't hurt you with peace. I mean, it's a lot of scribbles. Ghislaine Maxwell, Mark Epstein, his brother, I guess, and Lynn P. Jeffrey by himself. Jeffrey and Dana. It just says Dana. Said Dana White. I don't know. Okay. Jeffrey plus one female. Fucking hell. Pick up him. Abby plus one passenger plus one packages. Are those are packages? You think, or a person, or are they referring to them as such? Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah. I can't tell if that's... and if anybody wants to know, or has any idea, there are hundreds of pages that's going on for several days. Yeah, no doubt. So we'll glance through some of this. Christine or Ghislaine Maxwell. Heather. A lot of single name girls on there, which is really fucking terrible. Hey, Kennedy. Heather, it's Gibson. Flying back. Jeffrey and his two aunts. Yeah, just on and on. Yeah, Anderson and Maxwell. The trick will be to find. I mean, I'm sure people are going through there and finding the ones where Trump flew. Wendy, Wendy Limper, Christina. A lot of one-name girls, which is really fun. There you go. Jeffrey Gisling. Yeah. Koppel, Steve Tuckerman, Judy Tuckerman. Judy Tuckerman flew back. Steve Tuckerman flew back by themselves. I guess. Abigail Koppel stayed with Ghislaine. Is that what it is? Jeffrey Ghislaine, James Murphy, one female. Motherfucker. How is that not just like the biggest, like, I gotta say, that's the part that's giving me the creeps from this. Ava Anderson is going to Montrose, Colorado, to Utah. There's the two of them flying all over the place, just him by himself. They're hollering, dead something for maintenance. Oh, dead again for maintenance. They're down. Ghislaine, one female. Motherfucker. The question will also be on any of the ones where other people. Doug ? That's good. Nobody remembers who Doug was. Dinsdale. No passengers flying back there. A lot of Jeffrey and Ghislaine. Jem, I don't know what that one is. No passengers. No passengers. The truth is, are they always telling the truth? That's the other thing. But whatever. Bob Gold, back and forth. A lot of single flights. Oh, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. First sign of it, Donald Trump. Aaron Nance and Donald Trump. There's Jeffrey and Donald Trump. There he is. There's another one. Where's that one too? This is that's Midway. So Palm Beach. Yeah. So they flew to Palm Beach from New York, or let's see. TEB. I don't know. It might be an executive airline. There you go. That's him, though. There it is. Donald Trump. It didn't take us long. And by the way, this one, they flew down with somebody, and they flew back together. What the fuck? Miles flown. Okay, that's nuts. So, 100.5, is that it? Yeah, points of departure, identification markers, the same one. Yep. Jeffrey and Donald Trump. And that was, let's see, aircraft category, blah, blah, blah. This is the idea. Let's see. Miles flown is the date on? Yeah, so 1993, he flew down with him on the 23rd and came back on the 26th. It gave him a little round trip flight. Is that Palm Beach Island? I'm guessing. Teterboro, New Jersey. That makes sense. TEB for Teterboro. Yeah. John Steganos flew back and forth a bunch of times. There's Ghislaine. A bunch of this is back in night again. Sophie, somebody. One female. This fucking man. Dawn DeVito. There's. Is that a G? It looks like G. Ren Nance, something Nance, but that person was on the flight. On down there, we're gonna have to do a bunch of Mr. Koppel. I don't know if that's Ted or the father of the girl that was there, or the husband of the woman that was there. Itzhak Perlman flew down and back with Dawn and Ghislaine and Jeffrey. Eva Anderson, again. Itzhak Perlman flew back by himself, or flew someplace by himself, so he let him use the plane, that kind of shit. Okay. Ghislaine by herself. Mary Richards. Dawn, Ghislaine. This is a full flight. Jesus. Yeah, a lot of this, people are going to have to, well, again, not everybody that flew with him was going to be involved in like the sketchy shit because he was using a lot of people as cover or what have you. Some of them most certainly were, but he was posing as somebody who, was an influencer, had money, gave it to causes, that kind of shit, and used other people as cover. So not everybody, I guess, who flew on the plane knew this up to a certain point. Once you get around the 2000s, though, well after most of the people, like 2005 especially, page 16. Okay, we were on 25. What'd I miss on 16? Hold on. Because I think that's the first one we saw. Six is page 16. Eva Anderson, two aunts, Nancy, Ghislaine, no passengers, Linda. Which one? Oh, Trump again? Yeah. Mark Epstein is two aunts and Nancy, the family flight. Jeffrey and Tasha, whoever she was, him, no passengers, bullshit. Linda by herself, whoever her fucking name is. I don't know, first name basis, whatever. So maybe this is the 16 you're talking about. Is this the one we were talking about? Oh, okay. Jeffrey and one male passenger, yeah, that's right. Aaron Nance, Aaron Nance. So that we were, yeah. This gentleman, John Stepapinas, Tommy Quinn, Jeffrey Tommy Quinn, a congressman, Tom McMillan. Yeah, McMillan of New York. Yeah. Bob Gold. Yeah, this was the Trump. It was just page 17 was where we saw Trump. Yeah, 310. Yep. And 311 in progress. That's so funny. That's 311. Jeffrey, sit down, Jeffrey. Is it interesting? It's not weird that Bill Cosby had the bit about Jeffrey being the guy on the plane and sit down, Jeffrey. Everyone sit down. There was a kid on the plane, Jeffrey, and Jeffrey, sit down, Jeffrey. And that became the, I don't know. That's, like folding time, I suppose. I don't know that's whatever. Mark Epstein is the other one. And this is when they start using, there's Donald Trump again. He flew down, let's see, let's guess this is Teterboro, from Palm Beach to Teterboro. He caught a ride up on Epstein's plane. And then 413, he flew back down. No, I guess he flew back down on his own or something. And then he flew back up again. He just got on the flight to there? That's weird. Why are you going two times in the same direction? And then, okay. What did he do? Take a commercial flight back down? I don't think so. Yeah, right there. Donald Trump, right there. Again and again. From West Palm to New York. And then skip. I don't know if there's ever going to be a DJT in there, but I think because he's not a regular or a participant in it, I don't know if they'll shorthand it ever. A lot of this is hard to read. Jeffrey there. Oh, now it's getting better. There you go. Mark Middleton, Jennifer Driver. Mark, I guess the same Mark Middleton. John Alessi. No relation to Carl. Trump, Marla, Tiffany, and Nanny. And Mark Middleton. Trump, Marla, Tiffany, and Nanny. They caught a ride up and down. Dude brought his baby girl. Yeah, he went from Palm Beach to DCA, and then from DCA to Teterboro. So he took Marla on the flight with her. Oy. Anything 215. I guess we can scroll past the later stuff, but a lot of people that were regulars, man. There's a lot of including Trump. Test flight. they had a vibration problem. Don't start. Francis Sardino. How am I doing on time? I'm a little late, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of us will scroll through a bunch of this shit, and I'm sure repositioned for a 9-month inspection, then they repositioned it again. Andy, whoever the fuck that is, Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey, and Andy, and Jim Morrison flew on the flight with him. Okay, Janice Keevy, Jeffrey's aunt, a lot of this shit. Jim Warden, this guy is flying with him a lot. George Mitchell and his wife, plus 2 passengers, 2 packages. 2 packages? Is that what we're doing with? I'm not familiar with this dude's shorthand. I don't know if it's, that you would list 2 packages or 2 unnamed passengers, because they say 2 passengers in another place. Let's say recurrent training. JEAS, Shane Cagliari, Shannon Boric, Ira Zimmerman, checkout flight. Oy. Yeah, it was from Cosby himself, right? Which was one of the later ones. Yeah, Jeffrey, one passenger, one package. It's a +1, right? Oy. David Roth, Mrs. Roth, not David Lee Roth, obviously, just David Roth, Mrs. Roth, Miss Roth, Richard Cohen, Ira Zuckerman, Matt Grippy, plus 5 passengers. Oy. Paula Epstein, a lot of family fun. Francis Goodman, Sophie Biddle. Sophie Biddle again. Sharon Reynolds, Jimmy, Miss Crying. Okay. Pamela Johanoff. Yeah. Ghislaine and them. Katerina somebody or other. No passengers. Recurrent transit. Blah, blah, blah. Inspections. Listing of the flights. Robin Plant. Not Robert. David Rothman. 1 male, 1 female. Fucking hell. Alan Dershowitz. There he is. Alan Dershowitz to and from CMH, TEB to Boston. It's on the, this is 96, right? Yeah, we're just rolling through this, guys. Hi, welcome to the show. It's House Sparks Megaworldwide. This is breaking. This is just the stuff that's come out. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show, I suppose, if you want to, or don't. I don't know. But there we go. A lot of this is difficult to read, but it's a lot of... Oh, there he is. There's Donald Trump again. Amongst another group of people. And Dershowitz, the next flight. Hold on, what's the date on this one? This is the 96. This is 1996. From, let's see, where's Trump? His PB, so Palm Beach to EWR, and then, GWR. GWR to, he took Dershowitz to TIX. Yeah. Yes, I would agree that they flew everywhere. It's not the city's fault. These fuckers went everywhere. Good Lord. Claire Hazel, Pamela Stevens, Selena Middle. There's a lot of these, like some of the recurring names are there. Some of them are Donna, Glenn. That's a stack of fucking people. Those are going to be the interesting ones. Okay, so that's more than likely a victim right there, or one of the 2 John Does that had their name redacted, right? Reposition today. Okay, Biddles again. Biddle. Selena Meadows, Ginger's not great. Fuck. Russ Kipps is always on there. They just tack that on at the end? Was that somebody an addendum? Winter operations, hydraulic check. Christy Rogers all by herself. Good Ava. Meadow Gardens, okay, reposition again. Heather Mann, Jack Robertson, Steve and Judy Tuckerman, Koppel again, but not Ted. Didier, someone named Didier, I guess. Heather Mann again. Okay, Epstein and Emmy Taylor. One female. I got every time I see that, it fucking creeps me out. Jesus Christ. Andy Ellison, Doug Schodel, Melinda Luntz, Biddle, Bob Kitt, Chris Wagner, Rapid Communications, Chris Wagner, Class B, something or other. They have a radar scrutinized. Okay, so somebody was doing like a pilot thing. This is more than likely a pilot flying the plane around and checking it out. Like somebody from Cessna. Yeah, check out in Cessna. So they had an issue with it. So that was probably this guy was probably, yeah, Chris Wagner, 3 emergency landings, night record. Okay, so he had to, one of the pilots had to do training in it. Yeah. John Glenn. I didn't see John Glenn. I keep seeing the JE is Jeffrey Epstein. GM Glenn is not John Glenn, although maybe I scroll past it. Sorry. Chris Wagner. Yeah. So this guy's testing out the plane. Certification. Got on there. Yeah. Okay. So Christy Rogers, Patsy Rogers again. Claire Hazel and one female. No flat check. Robin Steven. There you go. Sure. Oh, here we'll get into the big one. Mandy Edelson. I have not seen. I'm sure. Would we have scrolled past when? I mean, it wasn't during the presidency, so I'm guessing. Yeah, here you go. Jonathan Mann, pre-flight, blah blah blah. Okay, this is a lot of steep turns. Okay, somebody's testing themselves out in the plane as well. Him by himself, no passengers. There you go, Melinda Luntz, TO and tow assistants, straight rides. Okay, so somebody's getting certified on that plane. They're either renting it from him or using it, or they're becoming his pilot and they have to go through the thing, or they've made some modifications. Unassigned tow. Larry Summers. Yeah. Gwendolyn Beck, Lynn Forrester, reposition for curfew. Biddle again, Sophie Biddle, Alan Dershowitz again. Francois was there. The fuck was Francois doing there? Mary Epstein, this another family flight, looks like. Glenda and Alexa, Sophie Biddle, Alexis, Jean-Luc. Yikes. Anybody see Tex Airport? We saw one. Yeah. There was a TEX. Why? Anyone in particular that you were looking for? Yeah, this is years. Absolutely. And I'm going to scroll ahead because my chat got really far behind, so in case I'm missing anything. Yes, underage people. Well, the Jane Does will be redacted. They're old enough now, and they could say, okay, because they're filing a lawsuit. They're not worried about being known. There's no shame in it. I mean, for Christ's sake, they were children. Even the ones that were coaxed into doing shit. I mean, they're again. That's why he used girls, underage girls. All girls are underage, but you know what I mean. Yeah. First Clinton flight was 2002. Okay. I'm sure people are combing through this shit right now. Tiffany Gramza, Sophie Biddle again, plus one female. Tiffany Gramza, Shelley Lure. This is a little. Some of these are murky as shit. Approach to the surface. Insurance company fluid. Fuckers. Tiffany Gramza. Shelley. Solo flight. Yeah. Okay. Somebody was getting trained on the steep turns, stalls, all that shit you got to go through, right? Somebody was learning on this plane. I don't know if it was. It's not listing. I'm assuming it was. Maybe it was Ghislaine learning to fly it or some shit. Paula Epstein again. Shelley Lewis. Harrison. He's a Mr. Brown. Did they add these in afterwards? They're all parked over on the far right. Maybe they were. Is that how they put like adjunct flyers or some shit? I don't know. Camp card. Sophie Biddle again and one female. Full autos, no hydraulics. Okay, there's test flights again. All right, McGee. IFR. This is all them learning instrument flight rating. Somebody was getting their prep for their instrument flight rating on this thing. 3 and night takeoff. Yeah, this is all tests for doing this shit. Shelley Lewis. One female. They don't even bother to fucking list them. And little St. James. Do we know what the letters are? Where's this list? This is on Document Cloud. I'm sure it's posted someplace. Yep, it's probably a couple of clicks away from everyone right now. Peter Marino +1 female. Sharon Lewis. E.T. was flying along. That's so sad. You know, I had such respect for E.T. and then there he is. So sad. And he wanted to see the Northern Lights. Pathetic. Phone home to yourself right now. I'm just so disappointed. John Glenn. No, I don't. I mean, I haven't seen the John Glenn ones. Again. So far, Trump has flown the most of anybody that we've seen that we recognize, other than, the standard group that was with him. And then Dershowitz was the second most common name that I have seen in our scrolling through this. And then we saw Larry Summers, and we saw, this is redacted as well, whoever was, this group is a bit concerning because they were flying with this person, and yeah. Larry Morrison, There's, these initials are going to be a thing. Virginia Roberts. Larry Morrison. Was it a point where he just got connected and it really kicked off at some point, like, because this is 2001. So 2001, and the first, I guess 2002 was supposedly the first one according to Mark. So let's see. Text, this kind of stuff. Paul Epstein, no passengers. Sarah Kellen, no passengers. Sheridan, two females. May Sheridan. Bella Wayne's funeral. That's where they were going. The other thing. SK Eduardo. And one female. Fucking hell. She's the two. Yeah. Let's see if this is. Where are we? It's November. Yeah. That year. Okay, 2001. Fleur, two female passengers, one female passenger, one female passenger, one female. Fuck. Jessica, Cindy Lopez, Joanne. Okay, big crowd of people. Cindy Lopez, and Tuttle, one male. What? Who are the one males? This is one of those things where Trump got. Oh, there we go. Bill Clinton, 4 Secret Service, 2 males, 1 female. TGGM SKAP. So, is Jeffrey on that one? Or is that a shitty JE right there? Might be the same guy's shit writing. Might be TE right there. But that's Ghislaine. SK, I don't see who SK is, or AP, but he had 4 Secret Service, 2 males and 1 female, accompanying them. Empty plane, One Direction, and that was going to, where was this? Where's HPN? From Miami to, Westchester? Is that where HPN, is that New York? Is it upstate New York one? Yeah, 4 Secret Service with him traveling because he was the former president at that point, so he's got a detail. 2 females, Richard Cook, Glenn Dublin. This gets stacked, man. Once he had Clinton flying on his plane, and it looks like everybody wanted to ride. Larry Morrison, Landry, okay, they had a drop stop, steep turns. Again, another one, yeah, somebody learning. Cindy, 2 females. Bill Clinton, Doug Banos, 3 Secret Service. Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and SK, whoever that is. This is a flight to and from. So JFK to EGGW and EGGW to JFK. Yeah. Do we know where EGGW is? Find that one out. Yeah, Naomi Campbell. It's been known that she flew on it. Yeah, and 1 male. Is that Montana? Is Luton? Oh, is Luton Airport in England? Okay, so everybody were grabbing a private flight to England. Okay. Pre-flight, J.E. Maxwell, Shelley Lewis, flew back. I guess they got their own flight back? No? Is that to and from? EG. Oh, no, they went, yeah. They're to JFK. Okay, so they caught a flight from Palm Beach to JFK and JFK to London, and then London to JFK. So Clinton was on the flight over and back with his Doug Bands and the Secret Service. There were 3 on the way there and 10 on the way back. That was a fucking full plane. This is the 2 females and the show. Okay, pre-flights and all that kind of shit again. And then these 3 are always there. Is SK? We gotta need to find out how SK was. Yeah. Prince Andrew Luton? Well, it might have been why he was there, yeah. Same as above. Okay. President Bill Clinton for okay, do bands. This is that Virgin Islands? Is that what that is? From RJTA to VAHHH? Yeah? To 2 years, and this was the 22nd and the 23rd. And then they're going everywhere. Like back and forth, back. So basically he was just giving him flights. Dink, 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 dink. 4 places in a row, like part of the tour. 22nd, 23rd, 25th, and then back on the 25th, same day. This is in 2002. And then it was just him the rest of the month, right? Again, Clinton always had Secret Service with him. I don't know where they're going. We'll have to see where those places are. But if he went there, fuck him. I don't care. Like, you know, I don't have any heroes that are that shallow where I have to. Yeah, SGSC is Shenzhen. They didn't go to Shenzhen, did they? They flew to China all the way over and back. Yikes! All right, well, that's a long flight. That's a biggie. That's a small plane for that long a fucking flight. BHHH is Hong Kong. Okay, so they took a flight to China then. That's really curious. And again, it's expensive and it beats the shit out, I guess, about flying. There's your China money. Right, exactly. Yep, we've seen multiple Donald Trumps. We've seen a couple of Bill Clintons, and we've seen a couple of multiple Bill Clintons and multiple Alan Dershowitzes. We've seen 1 Larry Summers and 1 Naomi Campbell. Usually it's the same people. There you go. There's the Paz back there. That's on 1 day, down and back, with Clinton and his Secret Service. He had 8 with him on that one. I mean, I have I don't know. I mean, I know Secret Service guys will take a bullet for you when you are president, but a lot of them won't cover if you did something really fucked up. Oh, there you go. President Bill Clinton, Kevin Spacey, Chris Tucker, and yeah, La Paz to DGAA. And then that's JFK to La Paz to DGAA, DGAA to DNAA, right? Doug Band, Aaron Owens, right there, Casey and Laney Wasserman, Ron Burkle, David Slade, Jimmy Kenning, same as above, less Ron Burkle, same as above, plus Ira Avaganzer, same as above. So they're basically like flying from different places all around Asia, was that the idea in here? And then, yeah, same as above. CL, Naomi Campbell's back again. Andre, Nick, one female. Mark Poitier, GM. Andrea Metrovich. Steep turns and stalls. There's somebody running again on these things. Andy G. Charles Miller. Kelly McCarthy. Yeah, a lot of the Stephanie Burns, Jean-Luc Brunel. There you go. And we're still in, what year are we in? We're still in 2002, or are we in 2000? Yeah, this is still 2002. This is all in 2002. Yeah, because so yeah. Michael Everman, Gary Birch, Gary Reber, Michael Lemon, Miguel thing. Yeah, I don't know who SK is. We have to, I'm sure somebody will say. Not many athletes yet. I don't know that there were that many. Were there? Anybody know what the Little St. James Island airport code was? Because that's the key, I think, more than anything else. TIST? Thank you. TIST? Okay. So that, oh, there we go. Cindy Lopez, Maga Blackburn, Bren's Kindle. That's the, there you go. TIST right there. TIST right there. TIST Larry Vessery or something like that. It's hard to read. Tila Davies, Tatiana Gabriel. There's a lot of names. Names. Here you go. TIST. There we go. BT. There's a lot of letters when they do this. Just do through here. Hamlin. Okay. Catherine Durgan, Gary Roxburgh. They're going TIST. Long Beach. Dave Savage, instructor to Miami. He's probably, I don't know if that's a flight instructor, but whatever. TIST, there you go. Epstein, BJ, SK, and yeah. Another redact. It's a brief, yeah. Let's see. Doug Bandy. There's a lot of this. Okay, there's Bill Clinton. HHH. There's a lot of like them getting flights to Africa and flights to China. So he's like offering these up and going with him on these flights to Africa and China. JE and SK going to TIST, just coming back from that, bringing these folks back. Tom Payette and Chris Camaras or whatever, Camaras. It's hard to read some of these. JSTD, Gary Roxburgh. There you go. Kimberly Burns. There you go. SK. He's going back and forth. Look at this year going back and forth to that place a bunch of times. It's almost entirely. Yep. Still 0 Joe Bidens. That's for goddamn sure. And then here we get to the other one. PJ JFK. They've redacted. I'm guessing Look, Alan Dershowitz got his own flight. That's what you do. Just let the guy use your whole fucking plane by himself. I'm sure he was alone. Larry instructor, Howling Larry instructor, Ray Bartlett. Yeah, so they're going in circles there. JFK to PBJ. Somebody's getting knocked out there. That's probably the people who went up there. Larry Summers again. I gotta say, we should if we haven't put a pin in Larry Summers, we fucking ought to start. Right? Let's see. Da-da-da. Yeah. And Rogers, Patsy Rogers, Ralph Pascal. There we go. Yeah, I don't expect to see Biden's name in there because there never was anything. Are those SCOTUS are marked out? I don't know. No, the marked out names will more than likely be underaged Jane Does. There are a couple of people who are adults who were on the flights who have won a temporary stay till January 22nd before their name is released. Larry Summers is an economic advisor, I think, to the Obama administration, right? Yeah. Oh, Sarah Kellen was the massage scheduler. Gotcha. TYT, New York to Britain, March 2002. Looks like Clinton flight was 2002. HBN's West China. So yeah, he was basically throwing overseas flights Clinton's way. From what I could see. Steep turns. There we go. GM. There we go. Rick Monar, instructor, rides. There's Jeffrey, the Sarah Kellen, the girl who scheduled his massages. AM, we don't know who that is. Tatiana, no last name. Adorable. Hal Lexo, instructor. Miami to Miami. Just flew around in a circle. The only time my name shows up is showing somebody how to take off and land the goddamn thing. Lexo. What kind of fucking last name is Lexo? Are you a supervillain? Jesus. There we go. Church gone. Tatiana again. Andrea Mitrovich. Christina Weichman. There's another group of people here. Alan Dershowitz. Got his own little return flight. You got Bedminster. Is that what that is? Is BED? Wouldn't that be funny? And this is the end of it. This is the last page. 118. Larry and Lisa Summers. One of the last flights. Well into this shit, by the way. Let's see, when's the last? It's the 2005, or the last list of it, because he was arrested afterwards, so it doesn't, like a year later, right? Yeah, this is the Epstein list. Look at this. Here's Little St. James Island down there and back. I don't know if Larry and Lisa Summers went down there, and he flew back without them. I don't know where else they went after. Oh, that's 2006. There we go. So they flew down on that flight, and then what, just stayed forever? December 21st. So that maybe they flew down and stayed through the new year and then didn't leave until afterwards. Yeah. Yikes. Larry Summers Island, right. Alan Dershowitz flying with him till the very fucking end. Look at that, just hanging out. There's Tatiana before and after. And Dershowitz had no idea. None whatsoever. How could he be expected to know such a thing? I mean, for Christ's sake. Was 45 on there? Yeah, Trump. We saw Trump several times. Mostly early in it. And there's also a lot of one passenger. There was a story that, Trump had stopped wanting his name on the flight logs and had insisted that he be, maybe that's what the one male thing is when he's listed on there. But he's on there like a good 6 times. And then Clinton is on there, but he's on these like Africa and China flights. where he's got a ton of Secret Service with him. I didn't see any Bill Gates on there either. That doesn't, you know, we kind of breezed through it, so I may have missed some. But yeah, I didn't see him in there. Like, and it would be Bill and Melinda, right? The two of them together. A lot of times the writing's like this too. It's really hard. But there's Jean-Luc Brunel again, to and fro. Yeah. So that's the list. And I didn't see Prince Andrew in there, but I don't know if he's how he's listed. So he might be a something or the one male. You know what I mean? That's the thing, is that sometimes these guys listed that they want it to be, that they were one, the one male, the +1 on this fucking list. But there you go. I might have skipped past it because, again, we were zipping through it. And we'll look through it further. But there we go, kids. We dived into this awfulness. And you went right with me. Thanks so much. Now I've got to go vomit. I got to say that the most disturbing thing on there, besides the fact that, Trump hung with this dude for a long time, and there is no Joe Biden on there, and there never will be. Never was. Not once. Yeah, not ever. And, there you go. Could they take their own planes there? Absolutely. Trump could have taken his own plane there. We need to see the flight logs from the Trump plane. Or that he was smart enough to charter one because he didn't want to be on that one. That's the other trick. Right? Anyways, I'm sure more noise will come out about this. We'll keep an eye on it. And Trump was indeed on the flight logs many, many times. Again, no Joe Biden on there at all. No Hunter, no James Biden, no Shemp Biden, no, yeah. But they'll back him. Oh, thank you, Boston Brian. No, thank you. Thank you. It's a partial list, yeah, because they're going to eke it out. But that's 96 to 2005. That's pretty long time. The only thing partial, I think, in this is the number of redactions that were in it. And I do think the most disgusting part of it is every time we saw one female, because I'm going to go with underage and fuck that guy and yikes. And Trump partied with that dude for 2 decades. Whew. Yeah. Yeah, not even Harpo Biden was on there. Anyways, much love. See you later. Take care. I got to go do it. We're taking the family and going to a hockey game tonight. So, yeah, I'm going to go try to clear my head of all this garbage. Yes, this or that Biden were not on there either. Anyways, yeah, Liberal Dan will be on in 20 minutes. Go hang out with him, and I'm sure he'll cover even more of it if he has the stomach for it, which he certainly does. And again, one thing you don't have to worry about is Dark Brandon being on that fucking plane. So much love. See you later. Take care of yourself. Like the stream, and see you later and all that stuff. And stop going. Hi, that guy, Sean.
Bye.